I was in a house with 5 children. God only knows how I made it. I come in one day and my beautiful wife, uh, our relationship ended, our love has not, gave me a great piece of advice. She said, why don't you get a vasectomy? Now, of course, our families are combined families, as how everybody's families is these days. Half of them are ours, half of them ain't. So I went and did what she said, and she took me up to Kettering. And boy, I was a little apprehensive, as you men will understand. I've never been through such a thing. But I did get some advice from my older brother, corrections officer, and legendary assistant coach to Dan Haney at Lexington Catholic National Championship teams. And he told me that he had one. And he said after he got done, he went back to the jail and went to work the very same day. So I said, well, it can't be that bad because everybody knows Big Moon ain't really one for pain. So I go up and I get in this, I don't know what to call it, but a situation chair because that's all it was for me. I sit there and my legs were hiked up uh, in the air like a man shouldn't be that way. I don't know how to explain it. It's bad contrapposto. And while I was there, the doctor came in, and he was Oriental, I think, and he said, "Are you sure you want to do this? What if you leave and find another wife, and she wants to have baby?" I said, I'm sure. I'm in the chair, and I mean, I got this far. I can turn around now. And he said, if you do, we can reverse this, just to let you know. I said, okay. So he said, I'll give you a small shot. Take your pants off, put the gown on. I'll be right back. So I put one of them ridiculous gowns. I couldn't figure out which side was the front. But by the time I got done, I sat in that chair and I thought, well, this gown don't cover me up. This is absurd. And I don't know if I got the gown on right or not. But I'm sitting there in the chair, and I realize he's got stuff to do out front here. So there's a good chance this is probably how it's going to be for the next hour. And I was starting to get agitated. And here he come. And he come in there on one of them chairs with wheels on it, sat down, and pulled in what looked like, I don't know, Terry Labonte's pit cruise tools. There was 3 shelves of them. It was Craftsman. I said, oh, God. Because I really don't know what this procedure entails. So I said, what are we doing here? And he said, I got to give you a small shot for numbing. And then when it is numb, I will come back, I will make an incision, and then I will cut tube. I said, okay, because what are you going to say at that point? So he gives me a shot, and I'm braced for impact. I mean, I'm bending metal in this chair because I'm scared. And when he gives me the shot, it's not too bad. So I am, thank God, you know what I mean? Because it's underneath where you're worried about, really. And so he come back about 10 minutes later, and he said, is it numb? I said, it ain't numb enough. I can tell you that. So he left, and he come back 10 minutes later, and I told him the same thing. And then the last time he come in was the last time he was coming in, so he went ahead and propped down there. And he said, can you feel this? And so I thought to myself, now, this is the time for honesty, because this man knows what he's doing, and I do not. So I said, I can't feel anything. And he said, are you sure? I said, yeah. He said, you will feel small pressure. I said, okay. So I felt it, and I felt it that time. I don't know what he did, but I felt it. And he puts the scalpel down. And I'm nervous because he's not looking like he's going to take a break or nothing. And he pulls up these things, and the best way that I can explain it is they're like crimpers if you work with electric. And I thought, my God, what is the procedure here? And he said, you will feel a little pressure. This one is for real. So I said, oh my God, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do. So I grabbed the sides of the rails of the chair. I prepare like I'm getting ready to get hit by Lawrence Taylor. Um, and he goes, I'll never forget it. Oh, if a horse would have got a running start and kicked me in the nuts, it wouldn't hurt any worse. I come up out of that chair and I'm sitting like this. And if I could have let go to grab him, I would have. It was a dangerous moment for the both of us, I'm telling you. So he says to me, that is it. The nurse will be in to take care of you in a minute. And he leaves. And I sit there and I swear I was suspended in the air because I knew if I come down on it, it's over. You know what I mean? Because it's a vibrating pain. You can feel it. It's just a humming. So I'm sitting there like this, shaking. And then finally I ease down. And as I do, I start to sit in a puddle, which is I suppose it's blood. I'm not looking down there. I'm kind of fat anyway. Finally, the nurse comes in. And I'm looking at her like, oh my God. And I'm still partially naked. I don't even give a shit. I just want to leave. And she goes, everything is okay? I said, I'm bleeding. And she said, I know. I'm going to make you man pad for you. And she puts the stuff together. And it's like a big maxi pad. And she sticks it on there. And we put the gown up, put my clothes on. I'm getting ready to leave. And she goes, here. And it's this little bitty vial. And I said, what's this? She said, you come back in 3 weeks. And when you do, we will test. I said, okay. So make sure you have sample. I said, you got it. So I walked out the door and we left, and I had to stop and get a drink on the way home. One of the $100 drinks, really. And so, like vodka and lots of it. So I get back to the cemetery. It's about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I take the pain medicine and stuff because I got to dig a grave in the morning. And it gets up to about 11 o'clock. And there ain't no going to bed with this. So I picked up the phone and I called down to my brother's house, Moon. And of course he's working at the prison. And Patricia answers the phone. So Patricia says, what's going on, Rod? I said, I got a problem. I went and got a vasectomy. He said, you did what? I said, I went and got a vasectomy. And Mark said that when he got his, he went to work right after it was over that day at the jail. And she said, Rod, he lied to you. That puss laid in bed for 3 weeks. I said, do what? I took him for his word. I have to do a funeral tomorrow and there's nobody that can help me. She said, sucks to be you, Rod. Bye. And she hung the phone up. I was never so disgusted with my brother in my entire life. Oh my God. So the next morning comes, I get up, I go outside, and of course it's very cold outside. Our tractor, it's a Ford 55C Ford, big front loader with a digger bucket on it. And to start it, there's more to it than glow plugs. We've got a coat hanger that goes up to the starter, which has to be hit by a screwdriver, and you got to give 3 Hail Marys and kick the tire twice. I said, this is not happening to me this morning. And finally, my friend Charlie Morgan comes, and I'm back there setting it up. And he said, who's going to unload the dirt? And I said, I was going to try to do it all. I got a problem this morning, Charlie. He said, what's that? I said, I went and got a vasectomy yesterday, and I didn't realize how much issues it was going to cause. He goes, oh my. I said, yeah. He said, if you want to dig it, I'll dump it, and we'll get this thing knocked out, and we'll have the rest of the day off. I said, thanks, Mom. About 3 weeks later, my lovely wife with this great plan to begin with comes out. And she says to me, it's time for us to go up there and then to check. I said, okay, and I'm busy doing other stuff, and I got attention span with a mosquito, you know what I mean? So I hopped in the car, and we headed up there, and when we walked in, I seen that same beautiful nurse, and she said, you have sample? I said, do what? Did you bring sample? I said, no, I didn't bring a sample. And it hit me about that little thing. And she said, you have to have sample. I get another one. She comes back. She got the little thing. She tells me to go back in the back room back there. And I'm walking back thinking, what's really going on here? And I get to this room, and she says, I'll come back 20 minutes, have sample, and shuts the door. So I sit there for 5 or 10 minutes looking around like, I don't even know what, I mean, it can't be, is it? It's just what it is. Oh my God. So I walk around the room and I'm looking about, and there was a Sports Illustrated magazine with like Kate Hustle or someone on it. Oh my God, this can't be true. So I produce sample, and she comes back as promised. I said, well, here you go. And she said, this is sample? I said, yeah. She said, sample of urine. I cannot believe you did this to me. Oh my God. So I turned around, walked past her. I never went back. Not ever.